Annalisa Merelli and I'm a reporter for Quartz. In March this year, 2018, I received a grant from the Pulitzer Center to travel to India, and specifically to Uttar Pradesh, which is India's biggest and most populous state. And it's also one of the most dangerous for women, and one in which is particularly the discriminations against women is particularly strong. And I went there with the intent of documenting a project that I had known about for a few years. I had discovered it in 2012, and I had sort of kept an eye on it throughout this year. And it's a project of rural empowerment and development that's solely focused on women, and specifically starting with girls. So this project began in 2001, and it began with 45 girls who were living from below the poverty line. Would not have attended schools. Their family couldn't afford even their uniforms, so even if fees would be free, the families couldn't afford uniforms or books or anything like that. And so these girls were enrolled into a school. They were paid to go to school, so that money could be taken at the end, by graduation, could become a dowry for them, which was sort of like an incentive for them to go to school. And just beginning with these 45 girls, the entire village sort of progressively discovered the importance of educating girls, and now they have about 1,400 students every year. They're trying to double the size. The mothers and the sisters of these girls have also seen their lives change, because they were also encouraged to have financial independence and levels of autonomy and financial and social independence, basically. And this is a project that started about 20 years ago with 45 girls who came from families living below the poverty line. So these are families who wouldn't have been able to afford not only the fees for school, but even simply uniforms and supplies and whatnot. And they would have always preferred sending the boy to school. So these are parts of the society from which girls generally aren't sent to school. And this project paid for them, not only covered all of their expenses, but paid for girls to go to school, giving them a small stipend every day, that eventually built up by the time they graduated into enough money for a dowry. And that was an incentive good enough to convince the family to send the girls to school and provide that opportunity to them. And in 20 years, what that has done, educating the first 45 girls has done to the community, has been quite striking. First of all, the girls now don't use the money that they get at the end of graduation for dowry. They spend it to go to college. So girls, and young women now go to college. Their families understand incredibly well the importance and the value of sending a girl to school. There's been a change in the mentality of the entire surrounding town,